Hi guys, welcome to episode 16 of the podcast. This should be out on May the 4th. May the 4th be with you, International Star Wars Day. So I decided to have Paul Watson-Sith on the podcast, who I have worked with and been friends with for a long time. He loves Star Wars, he's obsessed with Star Wars. So I thought it'd be quite cool to latch onto it. I'm a bit of a Star Wars geek, always have been. So I thought it'd be nice to talk to Paul about Star Wars and just geek out about Star Wars for an hour. So hope you enjoy it. Paul's a tattoo artist at Skins and Needles in Middlesbrough. He's got some awesome work, so feel free to check his stuff out. And if you want a Star Wars tattoo, which might be a bit much for some people, but there's also lots of people that do get them, then pop down and see Paul, because he really knows his shit. So, and all the props and stuff that you see in the video are all brought in by him. Record this at home, so the dogs are kind of in and out as per usual. So if you hear some toe tapping and stuff, then that's just the dogs coming to say hello. So yeah, cool. Thanks very much for listening. I'll see you soon. Hi Paul.
Hi Rick.
Thanks for doing the podcast.
It's alright.
Me and my dog's killing each other in the background. I don't know if that's coming on the microphone. Probably not, but I have done podcasts before with the dogs kind of running around. So yeah, so there'll be, if you hear paw clicks, if you're listening, then that tends to be what it is, and they'll just break each other usually. It's alright. When I did one with Jamie Taylor, jiu-jitsu coach, and he'd just been to his mum's, who had like a small dog, and he was like, my mum's dog always just sits in my lap. So intermittently Woody had just kind of run over and just started sniffing his crotch, but it was the big table downstairs and you can't see like obviously where a dog's entered or hasn't, so he'd just fucking be sat there, then all of a sudden just start sniffing it, and he was like, whoa, just in the middle of the podcast. It was good fun. Yeah, so yeah, I've got lots of Star Wars stuff. Hopefully, well, I'm going to make sure this goes out on May the 4th, International Star Wars Day. Thought it's, we've talked about doing a podcast for a while, haven't we? Yeah. So I thought I'd just get one out there. Glad to have you on. I know you listen to a lot of podcasts. Yeah. So it tends to be the right type of person that comes on. The one I did with a couple of lads before, Johnny and Sean, were like big podcast listeners. So, but yeah, what I was saying is generally people who listen to a lot of podcasts make for good podcast guests. So, because they kind of already know the format, they understand what's going on. People do tend to ask me like, what questions are you going to ask me? And I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, so you've been, when did you first get into Star Wars? When did you first watch it?
It's probably one of my earliest memories, really.
Yeah.
It's always been part of my life.
Yeah.
My dad's like a massive sci-fi geek.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was introduced to it. 5, 6, something like that, yeah.
VHS days.
Yeah, burning out VHSs.
Yeah.
Must have went through a few back then.
Yeah, I was saying before, I can't remember a time where I didn't know like the whole Star Wars story. Yeah. And it was only like it was just ingrained in my head from being a kid and stuff. I just knew what Star Wars was, what the whole story was. So when I like met people that didn't know Star Wars, I was just like, and they were like, yeah, I don't get it, like I'm not that bothered. And I was like, it doesn't go in, because like I must have just been born, and my dad's a massive Star Wars fan, so he must have just put it on straight away. And we used to watch them all the time on VHS. My dad's still got the old OG VHSs, so yeah, so I'm obviously quite similar in that.
Yeah, it's
just kind of always been there. It's like, for me, it's a proper strange kind of, like, there's no film series that's kind of been through what Star Wars has, or had the fandom that Star Wars has in it. Like, if you think about the first 3 were technically episode 4, 5 and 6. Can you imagine a film coming out now that they were like, oh, this is number 4? You'd be like,
yeah,
what are you talking about? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's...
Oh, definitely. It is. It was always a weird way to do it.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, and then, 20-year gap?
Yeah. Why was that?
According to George, it was always just down to effect limitations at the time.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know how true that is.
Yeah.
Because originally New Hope was never episode 4. It was only after Empire came out that it became 4.
They decided that
they were 4, 5 and 6, yeah.
And where, he gets a lot of credit, obviously, for kind of like his imagination and creating this world that is Star Wars that everybody knows and loves. Like, did he rip it off? Was it already like? Was it a book first, or was it the Star Wars the films, or?
It's all well, yeah. It was an original treatment all by him,
Right.
and apparently he had the storyline for the entire 9-part saga originally.
Okay.
It takes a lot of influence from Japanese film, a lot of influence from the Flash Gordon serials,
Yeah.
and also from the Hero's Quest storyline
Yeah.
that most films follow.
Yeah. So yeah, in film there's kind of like an overarching story arc, which is the hero's journey, and I mean Lucas plays on it an unbelievable amount, and yeah, there's like a really explicit. There's like a character in the kind of film arc industry, and like people who are well into film that know more than me are gonna fucking be screaming here because I'm butchering it. But there's essentially like I don't know what it's called, but it's essentially like an old wizard that gives you a gift to help you on your journey, which is obviously in the early films is Ben Kenobi, but like like. It tends, I don't know why, like the term old wizard, like in my head, but it tends to be like just like that sort of like fatherly figure, someone a bit older, a bit wiser that gives you a thing, but it's like super obviously explicit in Star Wars. It's literally an old wizard giving you a fucking lightsaber of the Force, you know what I mean, to help you on your very literal quest. But he pulls it off because, I mean, again, like my dad was saying when it came out, sci-fi at the time, no one had just seen anything like it, you know what I mean, in terms of what Star Wars does and pushing boundaries and that. And it's weird. I don't know if it does that much now in terms of pushing boundaries and stuff, because effects wise it was amazing at the time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now I'm not saying obviously the effects aren't good, but I guess it's hard to push boundaries in effects now because there's just fucking so much out there. You can do so much with the computer, you know what I mean? So yeah, what did you think of when episode 1 came out, The Phantom Menace? Did you go to cinema to see it?
Yeah, me and a bunch of friends from work at the time I worked at Game, we all went to a midnight screening. Yeah. I fully bought onto the hype. Yeah, and I was one of the few fans as well that I still to this day don't have a massive problem with it. Yeah, because I know a lot of people have problems with characters like Jar Jar, but he's not for us. He's for the kids. Yeah. I still I'll go to conventions and stuff, and you'll see like Jar Jar dolls on the side, and you'll see some little 5-year-old run up and start screaming Jar Jar. Yeah, and happy. And it's like that's who Jar Jar's aimed at. Yeah, not for you. It's for them.
I guess that's probably quite nice for because it's something that by the time that Star Wars came out, I guess my dad had me, and I was probably like too old. Well, definitely too old to give a fuck about Jar Jar, but my little brother used to love him. You know what I mean? And
minded.
I think I might have hated The Phantom Menace because, well, not hated, just because my little brother probably hammered it, so I might have seen it 1,000 times, because when kids are that age where they just watch the same film over and over and over again. The Phantom Menace, unfortunately, was one of them for me. So, and like Attack of the Clones bores me to tears for the same reason, but only because shot for shot I could probably recreate the battle scene. You know what I mean? Just because it's just in there, because unfortunately my little brother watched it over and over again. So,
as far as films go, Attack of the Clones is the worst Star Wars film ever made.
Do you think it's worse than Phantom Menace?
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I'd have to go back and rewatch him.
Phantom Menace gets past for me because you got Maul, which is one of the best Sith we've had. Yeah. You've got that ending, which the 3-way battle, quite similar to Jedi, was amazing. Yeah. The score was one of the best scores I've ever had, as far as soundtracks go. I
suppose the music in that Darth Maul scene.
Is it Julian Fates? I think it's Julian Fates.
I'm not sure, but I've got that in my head now just thinking about it. It is a good bit of music. It's intense as fuck. For when he's fighting Qui-Gon and
Obi-Wan,
Yeah.
Like, to me, that was a better film.
Yeah.
And the pod race as well. Really nice set piece.
Yeah. And it's something people kind of like latch onto when they think of the earlier films, like you know, like pod races and those scenes, and you know, there's like millions of memes about them out there and stuff. But people like, if people are latching onto it like that, then yeah, I guess Whereas if you go, what happens in Attack of the Clones? People are gonna be like, them fucking weird droids with the dead long noses.
Really bad romance in the middle.
Yeah.
Really wooden romance.
I mean, I was thinking about that bit on that Kevin Spacey film where it's like, I am Anakin Skywalker. Is that Clerks 2?
I think so, yeah.
My shitty acting ruined Saga. I mean, his acting is appalling in that film. I mean, throughout the trilogy, for me, I think he's fucking shocking. But I don't know, Hayden Christensen, yeah. I don't know if it's, I mean, is that bad direction? Is it a bad acting as well?
Bad script. I think a lot of the actors suffered.
Yeah.
Even some really good actors, like Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
Like, you can't expect an actor to act when all they're in is a green room with a green box on the floor.
Yeah.
And a couple of ping pongs. Just saying, that's a character, act against that.
Yeah, talk to that. Yeah. I mean, does that come down to bad direction? Because it should be up to the director to kind of bring... The actors are good actors. So Natalie Portman and Ewan McGregor are good actors.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So if they're kind of bringing out wooden performances, then there's something wrong. Is it because there's a green screen? Well, maybe, therefore, should the director have given them at least something to react off?
Yeah.
Or at least talk to them a bit more and got them a bit more into it. You know what I mean? Like, you know how directors work. They talk to actors and they really kind of like develop the characters with them, so that when it comes to the actor being on set, they know absolutely everything emotionally and how they're supposed to get everything across. So yeah, for me, obviously Lucas is a bit of a wizard. Is he better off as kind of like a producer? I'd probably say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best Star Wars stuff we've had has always been brought by a different director.
Yeah. He's kind of he's produced it and it's his world and he's overseen it.
He's a visionary. There's no denying that. But I think when he's given too much control, it gets a bit crazy and
probably gets a bit lost. Yeah. It's that thing, isn't it, where he's such a big name who at that point in the film, who was going to tell George Lucas what to do? You know what I mean? And even if he needed a bit of advice or a bit of help, he was probably surrounded by yes men and people going, yeah, that's the right thing to do, even if they thought it was wrong, because it then pissed him off, where actually what he probably needed was solid advice. I mean, obviously these are all hypotheticals. People could just tell me fuck off. I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, because otherwise it doesn't really make any sense as to why you would have a pretty good cast and some dire performances. You know, if you look at Natalie Portman in Black Swan, for instance.
Oh yeah.
I'm struggling to think of Ewan McGregor in anything else, because all I've seen for ages is the prequel memes on Reddit, and just where everybody worships Ewan McGregor. Yeah. So I've just got this angelic vision of him in my head. I fucking can't think of anything else that he's in. But what do you think it is about Star Wars that really kind of gets people's attention?
I think for a lot of fans I know, and myself included, it hits home at the right age. Yeah. You get into it when you're young, and then they've kept up with it. Every generation's had its own set of Star Wars films. Yeah. So as you're getting to like your late teens, the prequels came out. Yeah. And that got you back into it. Yeah. And then you give it like another 10, 15 years, and now we've got the new films coming out. Yeah. So it's constantly refreshing. Plus, there's a lot of lore, there's a lot of backstory available if you want to go down that route. Yeah. Which keeps it fresh. Yeah. Lore, L-O-R-E. Yeah. 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 I've got some books downstairs that my sister gave me that I've never got around to reading that are like Star Wars. I don't know if it's fan fiction or like official backstory or what, but there's a Han Solo one which obviously I'd like to read before the Han Solo film comes out. Whether or not it's, like I say, I don't know if it's fan fiction or what, but chances are it was an original release, but when Disney acquired Star Wars and Lucasfilm, they wiped the old canon. So you're talking like 20 years worth of books, comics, games, everything.
Oh, they just went, that's
no longer canon. Like, that's got nothing to do with the film series.
Yeah.
We're putting a line in the sand. And now comics and books are coming out in games that are canon.
Okay.
I think it was a good move for them because it means they can tell stories without 20 years worth of backstory to go through in case it contradicts.
Yeah, or if it doesn't fit, or if it's just a shite story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be something that moves into a film. I don't know. I mean, like the first chapter I've read of that kind of Han Solo pre-book is like adopted by Wookiees. And that, like, I don't know if it's going to come out in the film, and his mum is like a Wookiee, obviously not his maternal mum. Yeah. But yeah, so, but I thought that was quite interesting. Obviously, his relationship with Chewie, and I think she dies trying to like get him off a slave ship, basically, when he's like a young teenager, I think, like a juvenile. So, but like I'm thinking about it now, and I'm like, why haven't I read this book? Because it sounds quite fun. But speaking of Han Solo, have you seen the trailer for the new Han Solo film?
Yeah, it's up to date with all the new trailers.
Yeah, what do you think?
I was apprehensive when I heard about it because for me, Han Solo's never been a character I've really gravitated towards.
Right.
I've just never understood the whole rogue.
Yeah.
Why people like that.
Yeah.
But the more trailers I've seen, I'm kind of looking forward to it now. I don't know, I'm just getting rolled up in the hype, but it's easy to do with Star Wars.
Yeah, it's had a lot go on with change of directors and stuff, and
he's refilmed like 95% of the film or something.
Yeah. Well, they've got Ron Howard now, who gives me hope. You know, he's a good blockbuster filmmaker.
His last few haven't been great though. That's my worry.
What's he done? I can't remember recently.
Last one was Inferno, wasn't it? The Dan Brown.
Right.
That was a mess of a film.
Was it? I didn't watch it.
Listening.
All that Dan Brown shit. I think it's quite hard to make something. I think there's so much in there that, like, where do you even pull from? You know, the other one that first got him recognition, the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah.
Just fucking. I mean, there's so much in there, so much context that it's almost impossible. You're probably better off making 3 films out of it. You know what I mean? If anyone could do it, it's Tom Hanks. But that, for me, you know, Tom Hanks is an unbelievable actor, and he can quite pull it off. I don't think Da Vinci Code anyway. So I think he was up against the wall probably. But yeah, that's a good point. So we'll see. I saw the trailer in the cinema. I hadn't read anything about it. I hadn't, just kind of. Well, I knew that Childish Gambino was Lando Calrissian, which got me excited straight away.
Perfect casting.
Yeah, and but I saw the trailer and I was pretty underwhelmed. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm. Well, probably because I'm too attached to Han Solo as what's it called?
Harrison Ford.
Yeah, Harrison Ford is Han Solo. Sorry, yeah. But for me, I think I quite like that, like maverick rogue kind of like character. So the Han Solo in the trailer at least, and obviously we'll see when it comes out. Hopefully it's a good film. Doesn't seem, I don't know, he seems a bit boyish. I know he's going to be younger. Yeah. So fuck knows, we'll see what happens. I might just be reading too much into it. Trailers are like so hard to figure anything out. Anyway, like with the Venom trailer, the first Venom trailer, everyone was like, yeah, well, where the fuck's Venom? So in the next trailer, like, oh, there he is, sorry.
You said put the CGI in yet?
Yeah. But it's like, obviously, in the very first kind of teaser trailer, it's not just going to be all Venom, you know what I mean? It's at the end of the day, it's an origin story. So, and a lot of people were saying, well, maybe you just, no, it's all going to be Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock and his life right up until the very end. And then you might see him, but I highly doubt that now, seeing the other trailer.
Yeah,
but,
I don't think it'll be like that.
Yeah, I guess the point I'm making is it's really hard to pull anything from a trailer. So fingers crossed. It's good.
Disney and Marvel proved that plenty of times with Star Wars and the MCU.
Yeah.
Like Avengers, the last trailer before Infinity War came out.
Yeah.
There's stuff in that trailer that just isn't in that film. There's things they've added, there's things they've changed. They did it with Thor as well.
Yeah.
There's things in the Thor trailer, and like they digitally removed his eye patch. Spoilers.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say that annoys me, but it doesn't. I remember, I can't remember what film it is now. It might have been Watchmen, but I remember seeing like a specific shot in a trailer for a film, something fantasy, like Watchmen at least, something superhero. And I remember seeing it and being like, that was fucking amazing. And it just wasn't in. But it was like a shot good enough to capture my attention in a trailer for me to remember it, to look out for it in the film, and it just fucking wasn't there. And I was like, did I imagine that? But so then I rewatched the trailer. It's quite strange that they do that. But there's always going to be reasons why, director's cuts and trimming it down and stuff.
Well, definitely.
Probably when they first kind of have a cut of a film that's probably 3-4 hours long, and then they just trim, kind of pull bits till it's a sharp thing. I mean, were you a bit apprehensive when Disney kind of bought the rights to Star Wars?
I wasn't. Like, part of me was apprehensive just based on, are they going to Disneyfy it? Is everything going to be very kid, very family friendly?
Yeah.
Especially when Force Awakens came out, because I did love it.
Yeah.
But it did feel like a massive nostalgia fest. Like,
yeah,
he's the film you've seen before, just new.
Yeah, oh yeah, like I watched it and I was kind of felt a little bit cheated in that I wanted some development, I wanted something new.
Definitely.
And I just got essentially A New Hope.
Yeah.
But then when I rewatched it, I was like, oh, it wasn't that much of a rip-off. I don't know, like the first time I watched it, I was like, essentially just in, like everything I know Star Wars wise. The more I thought about it, I thought maybe it's almost like I felt like did they have to do that? Did they have to just part the film and go, there you are, for every like diehard Star Wars fan that doesn't want change and just wants, you know what I mean, like to kind of like placate 50% of like the nightmare Star Wars audience? Did they just go, there you are, there's a film that's so much like A New Hope that everyone's saying it's fucking A New Hope, enjoy it.
Yeah.
Now can we move on, please? Like,
I think they needed to. I think they needed that safe bet.
Yeah. That's
the first Star Wars film in like 10, 15 years, something like that.
Yeah.
I think they needed that safe film, get it out there. People loved it.
Yeah.
Reviews were great. Everything was fine.
Yeah.
And then they came back with Rogue One, which...
Do you like Rogue One?
For me, it's one of my favourite Star Wars films now.
Yeah, I thought it was unreal.
Yeah. Brave film.
I completely... So, kind of forgot that they were doing, like, new episode, backstory.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd like... I don't know what had been going on in, like, my life, but I just kind of, like... I just thought, yeah, new Star Wars, I'll go and see it. I sat down and it started, and about halfway through I was like, oh yeah, this is in the middle of, like, you know, I was kind of like going, where's whoever, you know, pick your character from episode 7. And I was like, how come they're not in it yet? And I was like, is that the same girl? And then I was like, shit. And then obviously when I realised, I thought, fucking hell, yeah. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. But what was quite nice was, because I went in so fucking bland and so, like, head was so far up my ass watching it, that even, like, the ending, I was like, when they died, I was a bit sad and a bit shocked. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, had I used my brain, I'd have known, seen that coming fucking mile off. Because I already knew that story that linked 3 and 4. I just never, like, kind of put it in that visual context. So, but yeah, I really liked Rogue One, which again gives me faith for, I know it's probably a completely different group of people writing it and creating it, but if it's at least in that universe, it gives me faith for the Han Solo one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I like that they've taken a lot of visual cues in Solo from Blade Runner, which is always a good thing to do.
It's always a good sign. Yeah. And what did you think of The Last Jedi?
I walked out of it really disheartened, really.
Yeah.
Because
did you go to the midnight showing?
Yeah, I went to the midnight showing. Came out and I wouldn't say disappointed, because it was a good film. Mm-hmm. But I think because we've had that, nearly 2-year gap.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it would have been.
Yeah. All we've done as Star Wars fans is theorise on who Rey's parents were, who Snoke was. We'd watched millions of YouTube videos, loads of theories.
Yeah.
Trying to get any information out of a backstory. and then when they gave us all the answers in this, and they weren't the answers we wanted, the entire fandom kicked off about it.
Yeah.
I suppose it's not our place to decide how a story goes.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never thought about that.
Yeah. So when I watched it the second time, I really appreciated it. It's one of the most beautiful looking Star Wars films.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. Was that by Gareth Edwards?
Yeah.
He's got a really cool story. He just kind of started doing graphics for, I think it was like ITV back in the day.
Yeah.
He just kind of did all the CGI stuff, on like low rent TV shows where someone had been shot or whatever, and like
splatter.
Yeah, really like not like demeaning his work at all, but like basically it's quite a nice story because he literally started out as a visual effects guy. I think he made Monsters, didn't he? I hope I'm on about the right person here.
Monsters. Yeah.
And he just kind of made that like he basically shot it and then just did all the graphics at home on his essentially on his home Mac, you know what I mean, and just kind of designed and created everything, which is insane. And it obviously got a theatrical release and stuff. So to go from that to then like directing Star Wars, I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I think he does a good job visually. It's awesome. Even like at the end with the salt. Right at the very end where...
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, and what was nice was it looked amazing, but it was useful, so when... I don't know why, but my fucking brain's not working today. The bad guy, what's he called?
Kylo or Snoke.
Yeah, Kylo. So when he's moving his foot on the floor, you see it move from white to red, and then you kind of see...
Luke.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? When you see Luke's foot move, like, it doesn't go from white to red.
Well, first time I didn't register that.
Well, I didn't, but I was kind of watching it going, oh, well, there's the white and the red in general, just as someone who likes a nice looking film. I was like, oh, that looks really cool. And I was going, why? Because there's always a purpose for a visual cue, you know what I mean? And that was obviously it, which I didn't realise till afterwards, till I read about it. But yeah, so like just little things. But yeah, I agree with you. I think visually it was stunning. But yeah, story-wise, I mean, I'd like to know a bit more about Snoke. I feel like you could have developed him and created a monster, because I guess in the first one he almost seemed ethereal and unkillable, you know what I mean? I don't know if...
Sorry.
It's all right. I guess I also saw spoilers, which was fucking really annoying, like the next day.
Yeah.
Someone just put up a meme, and it was... something, just some shit on Facebook, like 6 things you're a 90s kid will remember, and it was like so like like a Game Boy, something else, and then it was like Snoke dies, and I was like, you fucking... I was furious. And then so I was watching it going, I hope there's nothing worse, and I'm kicking myself because I'm going to see Avengers tomorrow night, but like all the time I'm just like, be careful what you see on the internet. I'm like on tenterhooks for the past fucking week, pretty much. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I can't deal with spoilers, because everyone's got loads of important people dying loads of crazy ways, and I'm like, that in itself is a spoiler, because I do it with Lottie, because you
start anticipating all the way while you're watching. You can't enjoy it.
She's gonna die, he's gonna die. You can't just... Fucking spoilers are a nightmare, but without going to the midnight showing, you know what I mean, which obviously you do, it's pretty fucking hard to dodge them sometimes, and
this one's been really good because Marvel, the Russo brothers, and is it Kevin Feige, the overall Marvel overlord basically for the MCU, they've been pushing this big Thanos demands silence campaign.
All right, okay, I haven't seen that.
Hashtag Thanos demands silence, and basically it's like, don't spoil it.
Yeah,
tell people it's good, just don't spoil it.
Yeah, that's quite cool. And I haven't seen anything yet. I'll just tomorrow, because I'm going to the cinema tomorrow, I know I'll end up seeing some fucking spoilers, but I'm just going to try and just use the internet for work, which is hard when you work in social media, but you know what I mean, like just use it for what I need to, and kind of stay off it until I've seen it, and then I'll post loads of spoilers. I won't really, but Yeah.
Don't be that guy.
Fucking spoilers. I hate them. Do you know what? Even to the point where, with the big UFC cards, so the UFC usually is on in America, so it's usually on it, starts at 1 a.m. and finishes about 5. So obviously, the next day I'll like get up, I've got shit to do, and I'll maybe sit down and watch it. Either if I can first thing in the morning or later on in the afternoon. And like spoilers can like really ruin fights for me, you know what I mean? Because like, you know, it's like anything, the result to anything. It can just ruin it. So, but Lottie she doesn't do this anymore. Because I don't think I told her off, but I maybe told her not to do it anymore. But she's be on her phone and she'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And I'd be like, and I'd be like, and she'd be like, oh, sorry, you don't want to know, do you? And I'm like, no, I don't. But the fact that you've had that reaction means that there's a big upset. You know what I mean? So then I start going, well, what fighters does Lottie know? So she knows him, or she knows that would be. So I'm like, I start fucking like mapping it out in my brain because I can't stop myself because I'm a fucking weirdo. And I'm like, that means that so-and-so's won the fight. So I'm like, now, Lottie, if you see any UFC spoilers at all, I'm like, you just have to remain silent because otherwise I'm going to guess it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
take someone telling you there's a twist when you're walking into a film.
Oh, it's fucking it
just ruins the film.
There's a really big twist at the end and you're like, oh, is he a ghost then? Yeah, Sixth Sense. My dad still claims that he called the ending the Sixth Sense, and I don't believe him. He's like, yeah, me and your mum went to see it at the cinema and I thought, oh, I bet he's a ghost. I was like, I bet he fucking didn't.
I remember hearing about a twist to Sixth Sense, and as I was going to see it, I overheard people talking and they said he's dead. All the way through the film, I assumed it was the child.
Ah, yeah. I suppose that's...
I was just like, I know what's going on here.
Yeah.
Be like, kid's dead.
That was when we went to see... I went to see episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
When that's apparently the only piece of Star Wars trivia I can pull out my head. I went to the midnight show into that. I worked at Gardens at the time, and we were walking out, just saying fucking all sorts of made up shit. Because there was another queue of people waiting to go in, like afterwards, and we were like, can't believe fucking Chewbacca shoots Darth Vader in the face, and everyone's like, wow. And we started like listening to spoilers and that, but now I probably wouldn't dream of it because I'd be like, I'm going to fucking end up on the internet here because I've ruined some kids queued up since midnight till 2 a.m. to go and watch a film and then I've spoiled it. But yeah, funny old world. So when did you start kind of getting all your figures and stuff? Because there's a whole like interesting collectible world behind Star Wars as well, isn't there?
Yeah, massively. Like,
BB-8 has come to visit us, and what's that called?
Just a mouse droid.
Mouse droid, yeah. I was saying about how that's the most pointless character in all of Star Wars. But I still kind of like it. If you think about the attention to detail that went into that in the 80s, just to be like a little thing that just kind of misses around, just to make you realise, just keep you in the fact that you're in a totally fucking crazy world, is like important, I think, anyway.
Well, originally it was just a USB stick on wheels. It's essentially what he does.
Is it?
Just transfers data from one point to another.
Yeah. I like that
they don't have emails.
The fact that they give him a backstory is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, yeah, I didn't think of emails then.
But collecting, yeah, I think it happened big time for a lot of people, a lot of Star Wars fans. It was around mid to late 80s, probably early 90s.
Yeah.
Is when it started to get a bit big.
Yeah.
Myself included, like when I was a kid, me and my dad used to go around like conventions, car booths, anything to try and get Star Wars figures.
That's quite cool.
Yeah, and used to love it. And then I think I'd amassed quite a large collection.
Yeah.
Got with that one Horrible X that was just like, you need to grow up, and sold a lot.
No way.
Yeah, but unfortunately at the time, it was just before episode 1 had came out.
Yeah.
And the price on vintage collectibles back then plummeted because everyone only wanted episode 1 merch.
Oh, really? Just like new shit?
Just wiped the old prices out. Fuck. So I got next to nothing on a big collection.
And like, obviously you don't really want to think about it, but now it'd be...
Well, now I'm buying it all back again. Which is horrible.
Yeah, that is shit. I once... a guy I went to uni with kind of like half stole a load of Walking Dead comics from me. He borrowed them. He's a dick. I don't talk to him anymore, obviously, but he borrowed like all 12 because that was how many was out then. Because I'm old as fuck. I think it's 30 now. and just like kind of went away. It was like at the end of the year, so we'd all moved out of that house. Just wouldn't answer the phone, wouldn't text me back, wouldn't reply to messages. Just had all my Walking Dead comics, still got them somewhere. So I had to. Basically, the point is I had to rebuy them.
Yeah, it's only worse than the feeling of that.
Yeah. And I've like got them downstairs, but I'm still look at them and I'm like, you cunt. Still got them somewhere.
Yeah.
Fucking arsehole. But yeah, now there's 25. Well, no, I've got 25, sorry. I think there's about 30. I'm a bit behind. I tend to kind of catch up in spurts, but...
Weirdly, I've done that with Akira.
Yeah.
In my lifetime, I've probably owned around 20 copies of that film. Because I just borrow it to people, forget who owns it, and end up needing to buy it again about like a year later.
That's a good point. I had Akira at some point, and I don't know where it is now. I definitely had it on DVD. It's about time I probably bought the Blu-ray anyway, so...
That's it. I bought the Blu-ray when it came out, and then 6 months ago I saw it in HMV and bought it again, assuming I still didn't have it.
Yeah.
Then you probably I've got one.
Yeah. Probably lend it out to me, and then you'll never get it back.
Yeah.
Class. I always, when I was a kid, I wanted the Millennium Falcon, and I never got it, and I wish I fucking did now. Even just because I'd just have it, I'd probably flirt with prices online, you know what I mean? And I'd be like, maybe, and then I'd never sell it. I'd probably give it to my kids or whatever. But yeah, the things I'd have done, I thought, like, you could just wish you could rewind time and be like, buy that Millennium Falcon, because I probably came close a couple of times as a kid and then fucking spent it all on sweets or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I had one that smashed it to pieces.
Yeah.
Because it sounds cliche, but I was always Empire. Always have been since I was a kid.
Right.
I had a Millennium Falcon, and the Attack won that battle. So yeah, I had to smash it up.
I always preferred TIE fighters over X-wings. I don't know why. I just thought they looked so much cooler. Like something, and that's the other thing for like the design of Star Wars stuff. I guess at the time, at least, like it looked like nothing else. Like X-wing, the shape of that spaceship for me, and the Millennium Falcon is a fucking weird shape.
Oh, the Millennium Falcon's out there, like.
Like with the weird kind of bubble, which is where they sit, but it's not central, and in terms of designing a spaceship, like it was just so strange. And I mean that's credit to someone, you know what I mean, because they pulled it off, and it's don't know whether it's George Lucas or what, but the overall design, I think that like stormtroopers and stuff. Do you think there's anything to the kind of racism connotations in the early Star Wars, the kind of black versus white? Light versus dark is you can't. I'm not going to lump that in with it, because light versus dark has always been a battle with kind of like humankind in terms.
Evil.
Yeah. But there's stormtroopers.
Well,
and they are white.
They are space Nazis. You break it down, they're space Nazis.
Yeah.
Every single one of them stormtroopers underneath that helmet was white.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Like I know they've changed that now in the First Order and. Force Awakens and Finn's was a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
But back then it was white.
Yeah.
You could tell. And I think they just were space Nazis. Really well dressed space Nazis.
Yeah. Even to the point where I know I've been banging on about it recently at work and stuff, but like Wolfenstein and that whole kind of futuristic, there is a bit of a weird like future space Nazis subculture thing that goes on. They almost look, what's the term? Where everything's clockwork. Steampunk.
Yeah.
They almost like this Wolfenstein I'm referring to, but even that, it feels like if they all kind of borrow from this weird like future space Nazi universe. That's just, I don't think I've ever said that sentence before in my life. But yeah, so there is obviously something to it. But yeah, until you said that, I didn't even think of the switch there in Force Awakens when it's a stormtrooper and he takes his helmet off and he's black.
Yeah.
That's because I'm just kind of going, right, there we are. Like we're not discussing this anymore. Can we please fucking move on and make some new cool movies? Is that silver bitch dead, do you reckon?
No, I think they're going to bring her back again. It's going to be a running joke for these 3 films. Gets back up and dies in another pathetic way, just to pop back up.
I hated her, but I also wanted to know a little bit more about her.
I think they tried to push her as this generation's Boba Fett.
Right.
Didn't speak much, but for some reason, because they had that mask cool look, people gravitated towards them.
Yeah. I thought she was a badass. I didn't like her. But only because she was going to kill my heroes. You know what I mean? In there.
I just didn't think she worked as well as Boba Fett did.
Yeah, Boba Fett just felt a lot more sinister, I think. And it he was a bit cooler, but he was a bit of a rogue. Yeah. You know, he was a bounty hunter, so he was solo. And
when you've got Darth Vader telling you no more disintegrations.
Yeah,
when you've got someone like Darth Vader saying, chill out, man.
Yeah, stop
pushing it too far.
Whereas she looked like she has a boss.
Yeah, she's indoctrinated into that philosophy.
Yeah.
Whereas Boba Fett's just working for cash.
Yeah, which feels more badass, doesn't it? So, but yeah, I'd like to have known more about her. But that's the thing, like the thing about introducing new Star Wars films and all these new characters. There's already fucking so much to know and figure out. You know, there's probably like, I know, like you're saying, Disney have completely wiped them out, but there's probably hundreds of books or pages, of Admiral Akbar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, God, may rest in peace, but
he died in such a poor way. Barely anyone batted an eye when he died.
I know. It was like, I don't know if it was one of them things where, like, obviously when I had known he died, I was like, fuck. But I went to see it with Lottie, and I couldn't be like, fucking Admiral Akbar's dead. She'd have been like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, but I quite like that.
You know, more people care when I die.
Yeah. But I mean, even Admiral Akbar in general, I mean, he was a product of pop culture and internet culture latching onto it. I dare say he wasn't as popular until, do you remember Robot Chicken?
Yeah.
When you watched the Star Wars ones, I thought they were fucking mint.
Amazing.
Yeah. Very, very clever. Like, I watched them a lot when I was at uni. Still picture bits out of them as well. But yeah, what was it? I was on about
Yeah.
Yeah, so my point was that there's already so much history that I guess to bring in new characters like Silver Woman and Snoke, you're like, fucking hell, like, now we want to know about these, and they're just might have to just kill them because like, we don't have time. We've already got all these people we need.
They've already done it. Like, Phasma's got, I think, like a 12-issue comic series. She's had a book.
Right, all right.
Snoke's backstory was explained over 2 or 3 books. Yeah, it all came out since the canon wipe. There's like whole new stories coming out.
Yeah.
Like the story's set.
So if you want to, you can really fucking delve into that. Just forget 20 years of whatever you thought you knew about Star Wars.
Definitely, yeah. Like I read the Marvel stuff. They've been do some cracking stuff with Star Wars now recently, introducing new characters and fleshing out new ones. That's
quite cool. I'll probably check them out.
Yeah.
And obviously they're aware enough now to not give out any spoilers towards the next sort of films and stuff. What do you think? What's the next step? You know a bit more about the Star Wars than me. So there's obviously the solo film coming out. What's coming out the year after that? Episode 9.
Yeah, we've got like a 1.5 year break between that and 9.
Yeah. Oh, a 1.5 years? I thought they were coming out every Christmas.
Well, yeah, you got Solo out in May, and then there's nothing this Christmas.
In May? I thought it'd be out in Christmas.
No, Solo's out May this year.
Fucking hell, alright, okay, I didn't know.
Which is why nobody knows why they just didn't delay it till Christmas, just to keep it Christmas.
In fucking
Christmas. Like a month.
It's May tomorrow, yeah? What the fuck?
It's at the end of this month. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's out.
Yeah, why didn't they just do it till Christmas?
I don't know. It would have made miles more sense.
Yeah, weird that.
Build up a bit more hype.
Yeah.
Because all the hype's being sucked up by Avengers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, even I was looking at films to go and see. At the weekend, I had a little bit of free time while Lottie was busy. Don't mind a solo cinema trip. But like, it was just all Avengers. Like, you can't move fucking Avengers. And because it's such a high impact film and so much going on, people are going to be talking about it for ages, because people like me who love Avengers, I'm not going to get to see it till tomorrow night. Just, because I didn't make it a priority, but basically what I'm saying is there's going to be people like me that might not see it for another week, and I'll have conversations with them. I'm going to have conversations with you and everybody else. So it's probably going to, the word of mouth effect for Avengers is going to at least be another month where it's
definitely.
still hammered at the cinemas. You know what I mean?
Black Panther's still at the cinemas.
Yeah.
Because the word of mouth on that's gone crazy.
Yeah.
It's become one of the biggest grossing MCU films up until Avengers.
Yeah. Do you like Black Panther?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really good film. I didn't think it was a perfect film.
Yeah.
As far as Marvel films go, it was probably one of their best offerings.
Yeah.
I don't think it deserved the 10 out of 10s it got, but I think some people were wary to say anything negative about it.
Yeah. I liked it. It wasn't the film I expected it was going to be.
Not at all.
I don't know if in my mind, kind of like Black Panther, the term Black Panther was just so strongly associated with kind of like 70s radicalism that I presumed there'd be a lot more kind of on the streets. So he would be in New York. You know what I mean? Kind of being, maybe more like a Spider-Man character. Like kind of kicking ass and but like saving people and being being a total dude. But I knew nothing about Black Panther from the Marvel side of things, you know what I mean? So I kind of went in, and it was obviously 90% of it takes place in Wakanda, and I was like, oh right, so this is just in this weird bit of Africa with superpowers. You know what I mean? Where I was like, oh, this
flying cars.
Yeah, this isn't the Bronx like movie that I thought it was going to be. So, but I still enjoyed it.
I think they're setting that up for the next one.
Right. Yeah. I just felt like that's where the trailer led a lot of it as well. Kind of all the trailer stuff, there was a lot of shots of like city stuff, which happens in like a couple of seconds in the film, you know what I mean, in terms of... So yeah, but that'd be cool. I look forward to that. Be interesting. It's always... It'd be interesting to see how the writers and the directors tackle it, because it could be so hammy to have like, basically a black guy in America saving the black people. You can almost see how painfully it'll be, you know what I mean, like to play it out the wrong way. So it'd be interesting to see how they tackle it and make it not cringy as fuck, which, you know what I mean, like obviously people are very skilled at making films, so I'm sure it'll be fine, but it'd be interesting to see, because somebody kind of new going in, and plus all the attention it's got, so there's going to be pressure to deliver a good all-round pleasing film, you know what I mean? So if there's film execs kind of prodding and poking and going, no, make it like this, it would be interesting to see anyway. But obviously there's definitely going to be a sequel. So is he in? Yeah. He's in thingy, right?
He's in Avengers, and I think it's one of the few Marvel ones that has been greenlit for a sequel.
Doesn't die then.
Oh, I'm not going to spoil it.
Yeah. Do you know what? That was weird. I think I mentioned this before, but I watched the Deadpool trailer in the cinema, then I watched the Infinity Wars trailer, and I was like, hang on, Josh Brolin's just like Cable and Thanos, and I was like, again, because I'm a scatterbrain, I was like, is Deadpool in Avengers? And I was like, well, Cable's got to die in Deadpool 2 if he is, and I was like, clearly, like, whoever made this decision knows more about making films than me. So I was like, I'm sure they've thought about this. You know what I mean? So yeah, but that'd be good. Deadpool 2.
Yeah, I like the first one. I didn't think it was amazing. Deadpool's just never been a character I've liked overly. I think as much as some people think he's like the best superhero in the world ever.
Yeah, I can picture people like idolising him and thinking he's fantastic. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
I think that 18-year-old me loved him.
Yeah.
But 35-year-old me, it's old.
Yeah.
Like his jokes now, it's the same jokes over and over again, recycled, and I don't know, it just doesn't work for me.
What's funny, the trailers, right? So when everyone was going on about Deadpool the first time it came out, I planned to go and see it in the cinema, and I did at some point, but not when everybody else did. Everyone was saying about how fucking funny it was, how amazing Deadpool was, and it was, like one of the best Marvel films ever, because, he breaks the fourth wall, does a lot of things unconventionally, which I quite like. And I watched the trailer and I was like, this just isn't funny. I was like, I'm going to hate this film. And I watched it and I laughed all the way through. Yeah. I don't know if it's just because it's really hard to get comedic timing down in trailers or what, but the same happened with Deadpool 2. I watched the trailer for that, as I said the other day, and I was like, I thought this one's gonna be shit, but then I thought, well, the same. Like, it's really weird. I don't know if it's just that. If it's you can only put his cheesy bits in the trailer because that's the only thing that will come across as vaguely funny, taken out of like a
massive context.
Yeah. But yeah, Ryan Reynolds has got a writing credit for that as well, for Deadpool 2.
Was he directing it, or did he try and they said no?
I think that might have happened. Yeah.
But he is Deadpool.
Yeah.
Like you can't even tweet now without him being Deadpool.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah. You just hear it in obviously his voice, but associated with like, Deadpool. Yeah. Imagine that being the role you were born to play.
It's worse roles.
Yeah. So, you got any plans for any more Star Wars tattoos?
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
I think next one I'll be getting I want a big cover up on the front.
Yeah.
Get some old shit work covered.
Yeah.
Basically, I want a big Vader. Yeah.
Cool. That'd be gangster.
Big and black, so it'll cover out.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know what I like. Don't have any Star Wars tattoos, which is quite surprising because I've got a lot of strange tattoos. So somewhere like it would have been natural for me to have a Star Wars tattoo at some point, and I just fucking don't know what I'd get. I'd like a TIE fighter, I think, but I don't know. There's it's that thing where there's such a the universe of Star Wars that to pin it down to like one tattoo to kind of represent it, you know what I mean? Which is weird for me because I've never been that sentimental over my tattoos. I've just kind of went, I'll get a snake's head or a knife, or you know what I mean? I've never been like, I'll get that because it means that. But there's something about Star Wars where I'm like, I just fucking can't narrow it down. And I almost sympathise with all them tattoo people that walk in and go, I want a tattoo, but I don't know what I get. And you're like, well, yeah, that's all another ball game though, isn't it? I could get into that, but probably another fucking 6 hours.
Yeah, I think another one I'll be getting is the other side of my first done. Like,
what are you going to get?
That one says Empire.
Yeah.
So I want something that's roughly the same shape. I want the Imperial cog, just doing dot work.
Ah, right, yeah.
So
nice.
Balances both sides out there.
Yeah. Big on symmetry. I suppose if it's your face, you kind of want...
Yeah, I like symmetry on faces. So.
Yeah, Peter's got, like, that one Peter's just got in the back of his head kind of goes down to there, doesn't it? Really strangely, I thought.
Off to one side.
Yeah, but maybe it's going to get the other side done, I don't know. How was getting your head tattooed? Painful?
Not that bad. Face and head were alright. It was only really the last half hour of that tattoo because it took 3 hours.
Yeah.
The last half hour was just very thin liner, going over, putting loads of detail over really sore skin.
Yeah, I bet.
So that's when I was just like, you need to stop, man. 5 more minutes. And it was just like, all right then.
Yeah,
After 5 minutes, are we done? No, 5 more minutes. It was like literally a second before I was due to just be like, nah, mate, get the fuck off me, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And he was just like, we're done.
I always feel that, I don't know, like every tattoo I've had that's been really painful, you kind of think like if that I couldn't have bared it any longer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a weird timing thing.
You always seem to finish exactly when you hit your limit.
Yeah, when you're just about to, maybe they can sense it. I don't know. Can you sense it with your clients?
No.
For me, there's something to be said about, like if I feel like tattoo artists, when you're getting tattooed, like for you to be close to being like, I can't fucking like do this anymore, probably means more to the tattoo artist that did it because he knows you're a tattoo artist and he knows, like, it's not like you're totally new to getting tattooed, you know what I mean? You've got a wealth of experience of getting tattooed and giving tattoos, so like, they've got to kind of respect the point where you're just like, I can't fucking do this anymore. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Like, I always find getting tattooed off tattooists that I don't know a lot easier.
Yeah.
If I get tattooed at work by like Reggie or Jeff, like I'm ready to throw the towel in after half an hour.
Yeah.
So it's like, just get off me, I want to go home.
Yeah. It's because I think it's a combination of things. I think it's because you're at work, so you're fed up in general. Whether you like it or not, it's somewhere where you work. It's a nice place to work, but you're still in that building where you work. And you can just do it, can't you? You can just go, just get off me, can we finish this next week?
Yeah.
Whereas if you travel to Edinburgh, you travel to London to get tired of someone you don't know, then it's a whole different ballgame, isn't it? It's fucking brutal.
Put your big belly pants on.
Yeah, definitely gets harder as you get older, though, doesn't it?
I think so. I know a lot of people have said the same as well. But I've always noticed with my clients as well, 30, 40-year-olds seem to really struggle. But then when you get in your 50s and 60s, it seems to get easier again. So I'm tempted to leave half my body till I get 50 or 60.
Yeah. So you just don't give a fuck anymore. They're just like, I've seen too much shit. Like,
the arthritis or whatever's going on's worse than this time.
Yeah. They're beating them, so I don't give a fuck. But yeah. So any parting thoughts? I think we've done about an hour there,
really?
Just on Star Wars. Yeah. Weird that, innit? Soon flies. On like Star Wars in general. Anything you're really looking forward to? If Han Solo's out in a month, then shit.
Yeah, Han Solo. Definitely looking forward to that. Hopefully 2020. Me and a few mates and wives and girlfriends. Gonna go to Disney World, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, that'd be mint.
Because the new Star Wars world will be opening. There's a crazy hotel opening as well.
Yeah.
Where it's all like you're on a spaceship in space. There's no windows. It's just LCD screens with stars flying past.
Yeah.
All the people who work there are in character, and there's like a big like, if you want to get involved, you can. But there's like a big role play mystery thing going on.
Right.
At
cool.
the hotel.
Yeah, that sounds quite fun.
So they give you like a character card if you want to play it, and then
I feel like if you make all that effort to go there and do that, you're probably gonna do that as well.
You might as well get involved.
Yeah. Be like,
oh no,
this
a few grand to go there.
A bit too much for me. I'll just go back to my Star Wars hotel room with the stars flying by. Yeah, you're probably going to get involved, aren't you? Mint? Sounds good. I fucking hope Han Solo's good. I didn't realise it was that month. I'm excited now, actually. And that makes sense as to why I seen the trailer like the other week, because I was like, why the fuck's this out in the cinema?
Like TV spots now, I think, just came out as well. So that's when you know it's close.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to dodge them all. I'm just going to go and see it with an open mind and see if Babyface can pull off being Han Solo, the ultimate badass.
Is it the point down?
Yeah, it's
Han
important.
Solo point.
Yeah. Probably worth it just to see Donald Glover in it.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Seen anything.
Nice one. Thanks, Stu. Nice, appreciate it.
No problem.
Where can people find you? Instagram, Twitter, Facebook? What do you use?
Same and all. It's at Watson-Sith.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, yeah.
Cool.
Same and all.
Same on Reddit.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, beauty.
I only have the same username for everything.
Awesome. Nice one. Thanks for doing it.
No worries, man.